Hi, I'm James at Bespoke Airsoft and welcome back to another video review, and in this one we're going to complete the three-part series which are the DYTAC SLR Airsoft Works AKs. So yes, the final in the three-part series with these DYTAC AKs, and we've saved the longest till last. Just like the other videos, if you haven't seen them already, make sure you go on the YouTube channel, check out the crink that we did first, the AK105 we did second, and then we've gone with the longest, which is the 74 to do last. Same features that you'll see across the board on all these models. Full metal construction throughout, apart from the polymer grip and the high cap magazine that's included in the box. They all have a CNC machine stock on the back, which has QD points and is folding by pushing the stock up. If I can do it, folding it over. Sits in its place under spring tension so it's not going anywhere. Makes it much shorter, easier to use. But then when you want to sort of get to business, you can fold the stock back out there and you're ready to go. 500 to 600 round, I think, capacity, AK74 style, black high cap magazine. I think these are Simon mags, so they're not a bad mag at all, but like most, you probably want to get some nice mid caps in there, and this will accept most of them. So metal bodies, they're not steel, but they're still very nice. Lovely section on the fire selector here, which makes it easy to operate without taking the fire control hand away from the grip and the trigger. So you can select semi, full auto and safe while still keeping your hand locked to that pistol grip. And the body similarities this will have is more with the 105 than the crink, because the crink has a 74 style where it like sort of levers up. This is like the 105, so you press the button at the back and then the top cover comes off and you can get a whole range of batteries and stuff in there. I've actually got some to hand. This is an 11.1 stick lipo, and as you'll see, this just completely disappears to the point where I even lose track of the wires. So look at all that extra space you've got there. If you wanted to get an even bigger battery and even longer battery, that one will work just fine. Unfortunately, the 11.1 nunchuck type that I've got, that's a 2200, which is a really nice size, won't go down there. You know, it's just a little bit too chunky. 7.4s, I've got a twin stick here. You know, they'll go down the handguard as well if you wanted to sort of split them and put one down there. These are very slim lipos. I mean, look at all the space. You plug your battery in, you're good to go. You haven't got to fiddle around with wires trying to do some finger gymnastics to get the thing in there. And then we just want to pop that back into place and you're good to go. Same as the 105, you've got a normal AK style iron sight on here on the rear, which is elevation adjustable, and then we've got a front sight post here which is also adjustable up and down as well. You've got this lovely long CNC handguard set up here on the 74. It's the longest model that they do. One piece CNC machine aluminium section up at the top here with a 20mm rail fitting your red dots and bits and pieces, and then you've got this lovely CNC machined handguard here which goes the full length of the barrel. Nice flash hider which comes on the other models too. Now with this handguard you've got loads of lovely real estate there. You've got three 20mm rail sections on either side and on the bottom at the front of the rail, and this thing is very, very solid. QD points in those rail sections as well, and then the 74 model has the most amount of M-Lok real estate on there, so fitting all your M-Lok accessories is going to be super easy. And the great thing about these handguards that they do is they're really, really comfortable. Obviously if you're a little bit bigger or you struggle using smaller platforms, this is probably going to be the one that you choose, because you can get your hand more out there, get a better purchase on the more front of the rifle, and you've got all this to use, and this is really comfortable as well. So it's not like something you have to go and fit rail attachments to if you don't want to, but if you did want to put like a vertical grip that's M-Lok or anything like that, it can go on there if you want to use it like that as well. So extremely comfortable. We're expecting good things from this, and we'll get the TDC set up in place so we can take a quick close look, and then we'll get to chronoing and shooting this thing on a 10-metre accuracy test. So here we have the DYTAC SLR Airsoft Works AK74 AEG. I'm going to struggle to get this in frame here because it is quite long. But what you can expect from this, from the other two models that we've been doing this week, is the same sort of body setup, the body being the same as the 105 with the removable top cover. Same selector, same grip, same high cap AK74 black magazine. The only difference being that the front of the guns is different lengths and slightly different styles depending on which one. If you're looking at the Crink, it's more styled on like an AK74 U-type, where the AK105 and this AK74 have a more conventional sort of type, but they have different front ends. You get the lovely CNC machined SLR Airsoft Works stock, which push up from the bottom, which flips it to one side. And if you have been following the other videos that I've been doing on the Crink and on the AK105, I said it did come through in some kind of information that these could be downgraded without removing the gearbox. I don't think this is true, because removing the screws on the stock just reveals a plate. So you do have a quick spring change on the gearbox itself, but to hot swap the springs you're going to have the gearbox itself out. So all the same features, nice body, not steel, but you know, it's not the end of the world at all. Lovely stock, like I've mentioned, polymer grip, which can be switched out for any style AK, AEG grip that you like. A nice in-between flat and curved trigger. This is a very comfortable trigger to use, and the responsiveness on these, especially on 11.1 LiPo, is very, very nice indeed. Actually the contacts are about there, so you're going to get even better response out of these if you start putting MOSFETs and other kind of electronic wizardry in them. The cover can be pulled back to reveal a standard style AK hop unit, which has a little slider mechanism on the side there. But then when we move into the front, this is where things get a little bit different. So we've got the Crink, which was a very short 74 style. We've got the AK105, which was about this length, with a very snubby snub nose front end, and then this is the 74. This is the full length one that they do, and you know, more rail, more handguard, more CNC goodness, more M-Lok slots here for your accessories. And the great thing about these AKs, as I've said in the previous videos, is they're very solid, very rigid, no flexing whatsoever, nothing loose or anything like that. Top piece is machined out of one piece of CNC'd aluminum, or aluminium for the UK watchers. I don't know why I said aluminum. 20mm rail on the top here for putting your red dot sights and such. If you're going to put something that's has some kind of optical zoom on it, you might struggle with the eye relief because you've got no side plate or rail mounted rail mounts on the top cover here, so obviously getting your eye behind it with it being so far in front, with something like a 3 or a 4 times, you're probably going to struggle. But I think these do accept the Cyma top plates, so if you wanted to get yourself a plate that has the rail attached to it, you know, you can do that as well, and put your optics on the back here. So lovely CNC'd handguard, full length of the barrel right to the front iron sight, same flash hider on the other models. You've got the 20mm rail sections with the QD slots, some lovely porting down the sides, and then you've got M-Lok real estate all over the side, all over the bottom for fitting your various accessories. The plus side, these handguards that they've done, these are very, very comfortable indeed. And then you've got even more modularity sort of capability there with the M-Lok slots that are machined into it for. So let's get to the Corona results. You're going to see a trend compared with the other models. Even though we've got a short, a medium and a long length SLR Airsoft Works AKs, they all chrono pretty much the same, and they are super, super consistent. 398 to 401, that was probably the max and minimum that I saw, which you'll see on the Corona in a second here, so I might be wrong. And then a nice rate of fire out of these as well. So let's get to chronoing this thing, and then we'll do the range test just after. What I'll say with the semi-auto accuracy test at 10 meters with this thing, when I was firing semi-auto at the target, the discrepancies that you'll see, the grouping could have been much better, but that was down to myself. But I did put a nice burst of full auto into the centre of the target, and you'll see how accurate this thing is. So I'll be back in just a moment. So as you'll see there, this completes the Dynamic Tactical SLR Airsoft Works AK series. We had the Crink first, we had the AK105, and then this is the 74, which is the longest one. They all chrono pretty much the same, around 400 FPS, but just be aware guys that if you're ordering these from us, they'll come downgraded before they get shipped out, as we'll have these apart and just make them a little, well, UK friendly of course. So good results out of the box, nice accuracy, which you expect at a 10-meter range anyway, but these on the longer range, you know, they're looking to perform just as well as a lot of other high-end AKs. If you don't really want to splash out on the E&Ls and the LCTs and the other bits and pieces, this is going to be very much like great for you. You haven't got the sort of steel stamped receivers here, but it's not a massive hindrance. It does make it a little bit lighter as well, because LCT AKs, if you've ever ran one, after you run around with it for a full weekend, you do start to get a lot of muscle fatigue for carrying it that long, especially if you've got accessories on top of that as well. Stock system is superb, really rigid, folds as well, so you know, if you are using the longer models or even the short models and you want to get yourself in a vehicle, or you want to go around and do a bit of CQB, or you're raiding a building or something like that, you can get it folded down, get your eyes over the top of the iron sights here, and then really starting to pick your targets off a lot easier than if you were going round same said building with this locked out, because you're still going to struggle to get through doorways and stuff. So but they do have you covered if you want to do that, because they do the Crink, which is the shorty, and they do the 105, which is like an SBR style rifle too. Lovely M-Lok handguards here. What I have seen on the social medias and the emails coming into us is that many of you think these are more expensive than they actually are. They're about $310 to $320. They're up on the website now. Plenty available. Link in the description below where you can find them. Literally just click that link, it'll take you straight through to the website where all the Dynamic Tactical products are, as well as the AR-15s that they've got, the M4 platforms that they do, which we'll be looking at starting tomorrow. Be very excited to see those B-15s, because they're very, very cool and unique, just like the AKs. But a superb performing AK, great out the box. You know, all your AK accessories and internal upgrade parts and everything's going to fit this version 3 gearbox. It's got a quick spring change on there, so you haven't got to completely strip the gearbox down to sort of up or downgrade the power. You know, the grips, you can get slim pistol grips for these as well now, with slim motors to make it a little bit more realistic. And then all the rest, barrel and hop-wise, is AEG platform, so you know, you world your oyster. There's loads of bits and pieces out there. But if you are looking for upgrade parts, just be aware guys, we've got loads of lilac stuff on the website now, inner barrels, hot rubbers, all these great stuff. The nubs for the hot rubbers as well. Some really good quality barrels and hot rubbers there that don't really break the bank. They sort of sit around £40 to £60, which is a nice price, especially the quality of the stainless steel that lilacs do. But for this and many other standard and bespoke airsoft products, go to our website bespokeairsoft.co.uk. You can also follow the link in the description, which will take you straight to the website where you'll see all these products, and then you've got all the categories you can choose from. We've got a massive range on there now, probably one of the biggest in the UK in terms of range on our online store. Walk-in store is coming guys, just bear with us, it does take a bit of time, but we'll see you in the next video. Thanks very much for tuning in.